Hi students, welcome to Herbal Drug Technology class. Today's topic is processing of herbal raw materials. Processing of herbal raw materials. Already we have seen what is herbs. Herbs are nothing but a crude material obtained from or derived from any parts of the plant. It may be a fungi or algae or any parts of the plant is referred as a herbs. A herbal material is which is the material which is being obtained from the herbs by simple processing. It will be obtained from the herbs are referred as herbal materials. So that is herbal preparations are nothing but basic for the finished products, that is extracted, fractionated, purified, concentrated products are referred as herbal preparation, and the final product is herbal medicine. So for herbal medicine preparation we have to collect all the details about the herbs. Last class we have seen how to select as well as the authentication of the herbs we have seen. So this class continuous class of that particular topic. This one is a processing of herbal drugs. How we are going to process the herbal drugs we can see. So before processing, that is after selection authentication, you have to cultivate that particular plant for collecting the herbal raw materials. So cultivation, already you have learned more about cultivation. So cultivation of medicinal plants will require intensive care as well as management of various factors which will influence over the cultivation of the raw materials. Factors like soil fertility, temperature, rainfall, more things will affect the cultivation of the medicinal plants. So you have to overcome all this factor, so that only you can able to cultivate the herbal materials in a good way. Next, as per WHO, it is good that is practicing, that is a manufacturing practice or good practice should be followed for cultivating of the plants which are being utilized for the preparation of herbal medicines. Already you have seen there is a two type of propagation method for cultivation. You can get this raw materials either from the wild source or from the natural, that is cultivated source. If you are going to the cultivated source, a two type of propagation can be done, either using the seed propagation or using the vegetative propagation. That is, a seed propagation which involves the propagation or cultivation using the seeds. Purely depending on the seeds, if you are doing the cultivation, it is a seed propagation method. In seed propagation method, different methods were the dibbling method, dibbling method, drilling method, more methods were used for propagating the work. Next, in vegetative propagation, you are just using the parts of the plant. It is a vegetative part of the plant will be used, either tuber parts or stem cutting, root cutting. Likewise, the part of the plant will be, mother plant will be utilized for the cultivation of the whole plant. So that type of propagation is referred as a vegetative propagation. So you are collecting the raw materials using cultivation from any source, that is through cultivation you can getting the raw materials. After cultivation you are going for the collection, collection of herbs. So how you are collecting the herbs? So using different methods. So based upon the parts to be collected, the harvesting stage as well as the harvesting time, everything will be a different one. I have listed out some of the parts to be collected, and what is the harvesting stage for collecting that particular parts of the plant. So for collection of the medicinal plant, proper timing, skilled labor, and the plant age is a very important factors for the collection. So first we can see the plant part to be collected. That is, if you are collecting the whole plant or the aerial plant part of the plant, that is the initial flowering stage. Before the flowering stage you have to collect the whole plant. That is the apt time or the harvesting stage, correct harvesting stage. Next, if you are going to collect a root or rhizome, a fully matured root or rhizome has to be collected. Like example, like ginger, turmeric. If you are collecting the root and rhizome, now for that in a fully matured stage you have to collect it. Next one, in case of leaf means fully developed leaves. If you are collecting the vinca leaves or digitalis or whatever the leaves or datura, if you are collecting the leaves, mean fully developed leaves have to be collected. Senna leaf also, matured leaf have to be collected. Next, going to the bark or stem part. At the beginning of the rainy season, you have to collect either the stem or bark portion. Since the bark will be closely attached to the woody portion, a peeling of the bark will be a very difficult one. So, at the beginning of the rainy season, that moisture content will be little amount. That time you can able to break the bark. So that is a correct or apt time for harvesting the bark portion. Next, going to the wood portion. Towards the end of the rainy season, you have to collect the wood, like sandalwood you are collecting. No, that is the best season. Next, for flowers. For flowers, at the beginning of the blooming period, before it is going to bloom, you have to collect the flowers. Like a clove bud, you are collecting the bud portion itself. No, that's a thing. Next one, fruit. Fully matured fruit have to be collected. Seeds also, fully matured seeds have to be collected. This is the plant part to be collected, and best harvesting time I have given for the collection. So before going to the processing method, a cultivation and collection has to be known. For that only I have given a small intro about it. In this slide, I have given the harvesting method of herbal raw materials. Leaves are being mostly collected by the hand picking method by skilled laborers. The leaf, fully mature leaves will be collected. Next, bark portion, you can able to see they were cutting the stem region and the bark were peeled off or stripped off from the whole plant. We are not uprooting method. This may be a capsizing method also. They were cutting only the part of the bark, that is stem, that is bark have been harvested. Next, root harvest. For root collecting, you have to uproot the whole plant. That is the whole plant have to be dug out. They have to collect the root. So that is a root harvesting method. Next, you can able to see the flower harvesting also. They were using a clean white cloth. They were collecting the flowers and placing in the white cloth. That is a flower harvesting method. Before blooming, you have to collect the flowers. Next, fruit harvest, hand picking method, or using bamboo sticks, like clove or whatever using bamboo stick also you can able to harvest the fruit. Next, seed harvest, you can able to see the seed harvesting. They were harvesting the seed. This is a smaller picture about the harvesting of herbal raw materials. We can see the processing of herbal raw materials, how the herbs have been processed to a herbal raw material. So processing of herbal materials refers to a serious or continuous process of post-harvest treatment applied to the crude medicinal plant materials. After the collection of the crude medicinal plants, it will be undergone some treatments, either a primary or secondary processing will be done to that particular medicinal the plant materials. That is referred as a processing of herbal raw materials. So this processing has been categorized into primary processing and secondary processing as per WHO guidelines. Good agricultural that is a good agricultural as well as the collection process for the medicinal plant that has been categorized. What are all the primary processing as well as the secondary processing. So I have listed out that the processing of herbs into a herbal material. Next, processing of herbal material into herbal preparations. Next one, processing of herbal materials or herbal preparation into herbal dosage forms. We can see all this thing. in the continuous slides. You can see the processing of herbal raw materials into two, it is categorized into two, two types, primary processing as well as the secondary processing. What are all the preliminary process which are being included in the primary processing is garbling, washing, parboiling, leaching and drying. That is all the primary processing. Next, going to the secondary processing, it involves cutting or sectioning, aging or sweating, baking or roasting, boiling or steaming, stir frying, fumigation. At last, that extraction can be included as a processing of herbal raw materials into herbal preparation, or that is also a simplified extraction will also be considered as a processing of herbal raw materials. Next, we can explain each thing all. First, a primary processing. What is a primary processing? It means a simple preparatory procedure which will be done at the harvesting or the collection site itself, including sorting, garbling, cleaning, drying process. All the simple processes will be done at the collection site, a collection area itself. They will do this process. All these processes are referred as a primary processing. For herbal materials which does not require a secondary processes, that is baking or frying, fumigation, if that process are not requirements, for that type of herbal materials, cutting, sectioning and communication will all this process will done in the primary process itself. Like herbs, it will be cutted and sectioned, everything will be done at the collection site itself. It does not require any other secondary processes. So the type of materials, primary processing itself, it's a NF1. Okay, that is a primary processing means nothing but it is a series of simple preparatory procedure that may be performed at the harvest or collection site itself, including either sorting the correct apt materials, raw materials without adulteration, next garbling, cleaning and drying process. Okay. A primary processing, a first step in the primary processing is garbling. Garbling is nothing but separation of unwanted material from the harvested crude drugs. So, by doing the garbling, you can ensure the purity as well as the cleanliness of the medicinal plant materials. Okay, so garbling is nothing but separation of unwanted material from the harvested drugs. So you have harvested that unwanted material will be removed. So that unwanted material may be either soil, dust, mud, insects, rotten tissues, or non-medicinal parts of the same plant itself. So that removing of this unwanted material, apart from that desired thing which is required for preparation of the herbal medicine, is referred as garbling. That's all. So this process may depends upon the plant material to be prepared. So whatever the plant material to be prepared, the process will be a different one also. The process include removing of dirt and foreign substances, discarding the damaged parts, whatever the damaged or rotten tissues, everything will be removed, peeling, sieving and removal of hairs or rootlets, that is unwanted materials will be removed. Likewise, removal of unwanted seeds from the fruits also will be done, and stripping leaves from the stem. If you are going to collect the stem part, means there is no need of leaf. In case of ephedra, you are collecting the young stem, so that all the leaves will be stripped off or it will be cleared. That is a garbling process. So you are while doing the garbling process, you can ensure that you are getting a clean and pure medicinal plant materials you are just collecting. Next, although sorting may be done by mechanical means, in some cases it is performed by the hand operation also. So it is a semi hand operation or a semi automatic process. Okay, all the time we are not going with the mechanical process. Sometimes hand operations, the hand picking or hand removal also will be done. So garbling is a separation of unwanted material from the harvested crude. After collection, first step is garbling, that is removal of the unwanted material. The second step is washing. So after sorting out, that is after sorting out, the medicinal plant should be cleaned well to remove the remaining soil, dirt, dust. So this soil, dust sometime only can be removed only through the washing process. So washing has to be done, especially root, rhizome, some tuber parts like ginger root or turmeric rhizome, whatever, Rauwolfia root, everything will be obtained from will be digged out from the soil. So soil, dust, dust, dirt, everything will be unwanted matter, everything will be present over the surface. So that everything has to be washed thoroughly. So during this washing process, scraping and brushing may be necessary. Sometimes the soil will be stick to that particular plant material, root or rhizomes, it is very strong, so that brushes has to be or scrapers has to be used to remove the mud. So during the washing process, scraping and brushing may also be necessary. You have to change the water frequently. Same dirty water should not be used for the washing purpose. Next, don't soak in water for a longer time. So if you are soaking in the water for a very longer time, a leaching effect may occurs, so that active ingredients are present in the plant will be washed away with the water. So you should not soak in water for a very longer time. Next process is parboiling or blanching. So this what is this methodology? That is, after washing, crude raw material or crude medicinal plant material will undergo this process, in which they will put that raw materials into the boiling water for a very short period of time. That is that material won't be cooked fully, but it will be placed in the boiling water for a short period of time. I have given the picture, you can able to see that is traditional parboiling unit. For rice, they were that is paddy, they were doing that thing. You can able to see the drums, that is stove has been used. That is a very traditional method of parboiling. Next, you can able to see that this developed modern technology, paddy parboiling unit, you can able to see. So by doing this process, this will remove the unwanted, that is you can able to remove the seed coat also. So what is the use of this parboiling process? It will improve the storage life of the processed material, and it will also prevent the mold or insect contamination, and also it will it facilitates the removal of the seed coat also. So that is a very useful method for removal of the seed coat. At the same time, by doing this process, the storage life of the material will be increased, and the insect contamination can also be prevented. That is the main purpose of this parboiling process. So the next process is leaching. Some impurities can be removed by this action of that is you are pouring the running water. Running water will be passed over the medicinal plant material. So by passing that running water, that all the unwanted impurities will be washed off. So that is the leaching process. This leaching process time has to be very controlled, so that you can able to prevent the loss of other that is your active ingredients won't be get lost. So that is using the washing unit, the leaching will be performed. The last step in the primary processing is drying process. So what will the usage of drying process? So drying is always necessary to prevent the deterioration as well as the degradation of the herbal materials. So if you are just preventing the deterioration as well as the degradation, you can store that particular material, raw material, for a longer time. So drying consists of removal of also sufficient moisture content. So apart from the sufficient moisture content, excess moisture content will be removed so that the quality of the material will be improved, as well as you can able to resist the growth of microorganism also. Next, drying will inhibit the enzymatic reaction, and also it will facilitate the grinding of the crude drugs. So if it is the drug is being dried completely, means it will facilitate, or easily you can grind the crude drug. So whatever the powder form, you can able to easily make it. So that is the drying process facilitates. Next, depending upon the type of the chemical constituents and method of drying can be it can be classified. Okay, that is based upon the chemical constituent, the method of drying will be decided. So drying process, that is a natural as well as the artificial process. Two type of process, drying process, either natural or artificial drying can be done for the herbal materials. Drying process, two types: natural drying as well as the artificial drying. First we can see the natural drying. So most of the medicinal plants can be dried using the natural drying, that is a sun drying process can be preferred for the most of the plants. This will be a suitable one also. Next, the duration of the drying process will be depends upon the physical structure of the medicinal plants. So based upon the parts of the medicinal plant you are going to dry, it will be the duration time will be different. At the same time, based upon the weather condition also, the duration of drying will be extended or reduced. So if it is a light weighted materials, mean it may dry very faster in a direct sunlight. If it is a thick wood particle, means it will take a very longer time. So based upon the physical structure, that is based upon the morphological structure of the medicinal plant as well as the weather condition, the duration will be a changeable one. So for effective drying, what you have to do, you have to spread in like a thin layer on your drying frames. You have to spread the materials as a thin layer. Next, you have to prevent the contamination using the vehicle or exhaust or heavy dust rain. Like contamination has to be prevented. Next, you have to protect the material from insects, rodents, birds, and other pests also, and domestic and also from the domestic animals you have to prevent it. Next, uniform drying has to be provided all over the thing. That is a natural drying will be mostly done for the seeds, fruits, gram acacia. We are following the sun drying method. Next, if you are not able to prefer the sun drying method, you can go with the shade drying method also. What is the shade drying method? Some medicinal plants can be dried in the shade with or without artificial airflow to avoid the direct exposure to the sunlight. If you have to avoid the direct sunlight on the raw materials, you can go with the shade drying method also. This drying process will be a very slower one, but helps in minimizing the loss of color and also preserve the volatile as well as the aromatic compound from being evaporated. Like if you are going to dry the flowers or that is aromatic leaves, you have to prefer for the natural drying process, because you can able to prevent the loss of volatile material as well as the aromatic components from evaporation. You can able to prevent. Likewise, you can minimize the loss of color also. You can able to see in cardamom, the cardamom will be very green in color. That the actual green color you can able to see. If that is a green color, means it will be dried in a that is a shade drying method, or can be done for the drying process. If the cardamom is looking like pale color, in a pale green color, means it indicates that cardamom has been dried in the direct sunlight. So during the direct sunlight, if you are drying, means that color can be get reduced also. So to minimize the loss of color, you can go with the shade drying method also. Next drying method is artificial drying method. Drying by artificial is done by that is using a temperature as well as the equipment will be, that is will be given by either a tray dryer, vacuum dryer, or spray dryers can be used for this artificial drying method. You can able to do this artificial drying only if that active constituents or active ingredients present in the material is being stable. If the ingredients is being unstable, means you can't able to go with artificial drying method. First one of the method is tray drying method, which is the drug which does not contain volatile oil or quite stable to the heat can be done for using this, can be dried using this tray drying process. In tray dryer, that is in tray dryer, like in trays, the herbal materials or the raw materials will be placed, all the materials will be, crude drugs will be placed, and hot air will be circulated all over this plant material. By circulation of this hot air, all the material will get dried. So mostly we are drying the belladonna roots, cinchona bark, tea, raspberry leaves, and some gums are also being dried by this tray drying process. Next artificial drying method is vacuum dryer. Drugs which are being very sensitive to high temperature are dried by this method. If you can't able to dry the materials using the tray dryer method, you can go with the vacuum drying method. Example, tannic acid, digitalis leaf, everything will be dried through this vacuum dryer. In the picture you can able to see the laboratory vacuum dryer. Next, spray dryer. If you can't able to go with vacuum dryer, means the best method is spray drying method. So spray drying methods will be used for the very highly sensitive materials. You can go with spray drying method. Example, papaya latex, pectin, tannin can be dried by this process. This method can be utilized for the plant or animal constituent rather than crude drugs. You are just going to dry the constituents, like you can able to see the latex, pectin, tannins which are being obtained from the it's a decoction material or a prepared material from the plant crude drugs. So that materials can be dried using this spray drying method. So this is a suitable method also. After the primary processing, some plants may undergo the secondary processing of that herbal plants also. So what is the secondary processing? It will be differ from one herb to another herb. It won't be same for each and every plants. It will be different based upon the nature of the active ingredients as well as its therapeutic properties or its chemical properties. The secondary process will be a variable one. Next, it includes techniques such as removal of foreign materials, prevention of microbial as well as the insect infections. Next, enhancement of efficacy or reduction of toxicity, extraction using suitable solvent, concentration, and drying of the extract also will be included in this process, a secondary process. So first process, that is the first step in secondary processing is cutting or sectioning. What is cutting or sectioning? After the drying has been completed, the herbal materials are processed. Second step is it will be after drying, it will be continued to cutting as well as the sectioned into a convenient sizes or shape. Why they have been cutted and sectioned? For facilitating the storage, and while cutting you can able to directly use it for the decoction purpose also. Next, you can use for the further manufacturing of finished herbal product also. So the cutting as well as the sectioning process will enable you for the easy storage, and easily you can use it for the decoction preparation, or else you can process that material further. You can able to process that cutted material for the preparation of finished herbal products. So various sizes are obtained depending upon the part of herb as well as the extraction method used. You are just the sizes will also be a different one also. So the various sizes are obtained depending based upon the part of the herb, which part you are using, as well as the extraction method will decide the cutting as well as the sectioning sizes. Next step is aging process. Aging is nothing but storing the herbal raw material for a particular period of time after harvesting. That is, and generally done under the sun or under the shade for up to a year, or it may varies depend upon the material you are going to that is store it will be a different one. So aging is nothing but storing the drugs before the drug you are utilizing for the herbal preparation, or using for the finished good products. You have to store that material for a required period of time for up to 1 year. In between that process, in between that storing, you have to place the material in the sun or shade, so that you can able to avoid the contamination also. So that aging is nothing but storing only. Okay, during the process of aging, excessive water is evaporated and enzymatic reaction may also occur to alter the chemical composition of the herbal material. So while you are doing the aging process, excessive water material, excessive moisture content will be removed, as well as some chemical reaction from fermentation or some reaction will undergo within that herbal material, so that the chemical composition will also be get altered. One best example is cascara bark. So cascara bark will be stored up to 1 year before it's being utilized in the herbal preparation. This cascara bark will be stored up to 1 year. So during the storation, that anthracene glycoside which is present in the cascara bark will be oxidized to anthraquinone glycoside. So anthraquinone glycoside is a very good cathartic property containing drug. So cathartic. So cascara bark is a very good cathartic drug. So it has to be stored for 1 year. While storing for 1 year, the irritant or vomiting effect which is being produced by the cascara bark will get reduced. So that is a aging process. Next one is sweating process. Sweating is done by the subjecting the herbal material at a temperature of 45 to 65 degrees Celsius with high humidity for a period ranging from 1 week to a couple of months also. So the drug will be treated at a temperature of 45 to 65 degrees Celsius with humidity also. That is a humidity will also be present for a period of about 1 week, or using at 2 months also. That sweating process will be continued. These herbal materials are usually packed in a woolen blankets. Okay, usually in in sweating process, that drug will be packed tightly in the that is densely it will be packed in the woolen blankets, or any other kind of cloths can also be used. So during the sweating process, a hydrolytic as well as the oxidative process of the chemical active ingredients will occur, so that the herbal materials are mostly hydrolyzed or oxidized. Okay, so sweating, during the sweating process, while you are storing the drug by closing in a tightly in a woolen material, woolen blanket or cloths, during this period the drug active ingredients will get either hydrolyzed or oxidized. One of the example is vanillin. So you know that is a vanillin will be packed repeatedly, it will be sweated between the woolen blankets in the sun during the daytime, and the packing in the wooden covered boxes at the night for about 2 months. That processing will be, sweating process will be continued in the dried vanillin. Next process is either baking or roasting process. It is a process of dry heating. Okay, dry, you are heating that material in a dry atmosphere without humidity, or just roasting or baking the herbal material. Usually this baking will be done, roasting will be done in ovens. Next, the temperature of the heating and duration of the baking or roasting will vary from one material to the another material. So based upon the herbal material, the time of roasting as well as the baking will be a different one, until the drug, what the specific color you want, until that process will be a changed, duration will be changed. Example, Mystica fragrans, that is nutmeg, you know, the jadikai. So it will be roasted along with the bran. So it won't be roasted simply, it will be along with the bran, rice bran, whatever the bran, it will be roasted along with the bran until it will attain the yellow brown color. The roasting will be done. In the picture I have given the coffee roaster, I can't able to get the rustica roaster, so I have given the coffee roaster example. Next process is boiling or steaming process. In the boiling process, the plant material will be cooked in the water. It will be thoroughly cooked in water or any other liquid solvent like vinegar, wine, milk, or animal urine can also be used. So in boiling process, the plant material will be thoroughly cooked, and in steaming process, the herbal material will kept separate from the boiling water, but have a direct contact with the steam. Using the steamers, the direct contact will be there, resulting in a moist texture of the herbal materials. So in boiling process, the whole material will be boiled along with water or any other materials, any other fluids, vinegar, wine, water, milk, whatever it may be. In steaming process, the product will be kept near the steam only, but not within that material or within that water. It won't be placed, but it will have a direct contact with the steam using the steamers. So I have given some examples like boiling of rhizome of Acorus calamus in cow's urine can enhance the anti-convulsant activity. While doing this process, the capability or capacity or efficiency of the active ingredients can be increased. For that purpose, you are just using. In another also, Polygonum mutiforum. In that plant also, in that root also, while you are steaming that root in the presence of black bean decoction, its tonic effect will be increased. So by by boiling with some other material, that original activity will be increased. Okay, that is for that purpose only boiling or steaming will be done. In stir frying, the herbal materials will be put in the pot of frying pan and continuously stirring or frying will be done. Okay, so the done will be while that is a stirring or frying process, the external color will get changed or charred, or even carbonization will also occur. So till that frying will be done. Stirrer frying along with stirring will be done. To facilitate uniform heating, the drug may be admixed with sand, talc, or clay. Like you can able to see the groundnut will be roasted in sand or material, clay like material. In a sand you can able to roast likewise that is the stir frying method. So liquorize the adimaduram, this will be roasted, the root and rhizomes of Glycyrrhiza glabra, that is nothing but licorice. It will be roasted along with the honey for a preparation of decoction. It will be roasted along with honey. Next process, the fumigation process. So some harvested raw materials will be subjected to fumes. Whatever the fumes, it will be sulfur dioxide fumes. So I have given the picture of grapes which are being fumed with sulfur dioxide. So while doing this fumigation process, it will improvise the appearance, color, and it will produce the bleaching effect, and also preventing the growth of either insects, mold, everything will be prevented. So that is the usage of the fumigation process. For from some herbal materials, special processing will also be done. What is that special processing? That is a detoxification will be done, and also the enhancement of the activity will also be done. So we can able to see here, for herbal materials derived from the toxic medicinal plants, general primary as well as the secondary processing will be insufficient to reduce its adverse effect. So plant material which are being derived from the toxic material medicinal plants, that processing, the simple processing or as a primary as well as a secondary won't be a sufficient one. For that you have to do special processing to reduce its adverse effect. So such material require further special processing before they can be used for the therapeutic purpose. So special processing is nothing but either detoxifying or neutralizing the toxicity or reducing the side effects. Example I have given in Nux vomica, it is a dog poison, it is a poisonous drug. So the seed will be processed by frying or boiling in a water or any other liquid like cow milk or ghee to reduce the content of its toxic ingredients, strychnine and brosin. So these two alkaloids, indole alkaloids, are a very toxic one. To reduce its toxicity, the Nux vomica seed will be boiled in either water, either boiled or fried in the that is, boiling will be done in water or any other media like cow's milk, or frying will be, stir frying will be done. Next, going to the another example, ginseng. So the fresh ginseng, it will be converted to red ginseng by repeated steaming procedure to afford a product with altered pharmacological effect. So if you are repeatedly steaming this ginseng, it will produce its a pharmacological effect will be varied. Next one is processing of this primary and secondary processed herbal material into a herbal preparation. For this, extraction method will be followed. So extraction is nothing but a separation process in which medicinally significant portion of the plant constituents and tissues will be removed from the plant metabolites, removed from other plant metabolites, and the insoluble cellular mark by using selective solvent, which is sometimes called as menstruum. Okay, the solvent will be referred as a menstruum. So using the solvent, a soluble primary metabolite, secondary metabolites which is present within the cell will be removed, is nothing but extraction. You are extracting the active ingredients, that is a soluble active ingredients, solvent soluble active ingredients within the cell is referred as a extraction process. So extraction, herbal extraction will include decoction, infusion, fluid extract, tinctures, powder extract, different forms will be available. So this herbal preparation so obtained from this herbal material will be ready for use as a medicinal agent, or it may be further processed to afford the finished products such as tablet or capsule preparation. This extraction, isolating the individual purified active ingredients, is necessary for preparation of the tablets or capsules. you can able to see here the extraction. If you are going to extract from the medicinal plant, what are the method can be followed. Next, if you are going to extract from the aromatic plants, you have see the extraction procedure. If you are going to extract from the medicinal plant, either maceration, infusion, percolation, digestion, making decoction, hot oxalate extraction, fermentation, counter current extraction, microwave assisted extraction, ultrasound extraction, or super critical fluid extraction with the usage of carbon dioxide, anything can be preferred. Next, if you are going to extract the material, extract the active constituents from the aromatic plant, means either hydrodistillation, water distillation, steam distillation, that is water steam distillation, or expression method, inflorescence method can be preferred also. So already you have well known about this extraction procedure, how we are going to extract the active constituents. So this active constituents will be further it will be concentrated as well as dried. This extract will be concentrated, purified, and it will be dried, which will be further used for the preparation of the herbal dosage forms. Next, processing of herbal material or the herbal preparation into herbal dosage forms. I have given some of the dosage form which are being available, either extract, fluid extract, infusion, decoction, herbal tea bags, tinctures, spritz, aromatic water, syrup, powder, granules or pills, capsules, tablets, ointment, cream, inhalations, plasters, patches, like materials. These are the dosage form you can able to prepare from the herbal materials, or from the herbal preparation you can complete this herbal dosage forms. Thank you for listening.